I'm with Adam Harding, one of our chief technicians on this incredible truck. It's the Ping van here at the Open Championship, the 151st Open Championship here at Hoylake. We've got an order. It's going to be coolish this week, and it's not for soup. It's for a golf course, windy on links golf. Someone wants to flatten it out and get some chase off the tee. What are you going to make for them?
Yes, sir. We have the iCrossover 2-iron, and yeah, you'll be able to flight it. It's got a little bit of forgiveness. Other players are using clubs like the i230. We'll throw a graphite shaft in there, and we'll actually crank the loft down a little bit to help get that ball flight down, or the i525. Another great club for that. But for now, we're going to do the iCrossover in the 2-iron.
Let's do it.
Standard build here.
Let's do it.
Is this for you?
Well, yes. Let's hope so.
All right, we got our Ping Tour shaft, an 85 gram, pretty typical for a hybrid. And this is the head here.
I'm loving this.
It's black.
Look at the
very
shade
sleek,
of it. It's
very
just,
pretty.
That's in the wrapper still.
Yep.
Look at that, and a light face. Like for a 9 handicapper, sort of like a double-digit handicapper, you mightn't go to this. Like I've got so many woods, Ping woods. I've got one that goes 214 yards. And I like to flight it up there. But for a good player who wants to use a driving iron, flatten it out, especially with draw or fade, these things are the go.
One of the cool parts about this too is the sleeve we actually put the shaft in. It has all these hosel settings. You have our standard loft, standard lie, then we have 1 degree upright, 1.5 degrees upright. You could even go flatter, all the way to 1.5 flat. So we have a lot of options to be able to do all in one club. And in the past, we had to bend it, we had to do all these permanent things, where now all you have to do is unscrew it like you would a driver, change the hosel position, and now you have a completely
I'm 1.5 flat. So that's the old red or orange.
Correct, yeah.
Yep,
1.5 is right in between, but yeah, this is an incredible club to be able to have that technology to help us fit these guys out here a little bit better.
Yeah.
So, pretty awesome. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. What we do first, we have this little tip weight we put in. That helps us get the head weight we're going to need to be able to do to get the proper swing weight. When we do that too, it creates, once you get it back into the hosel, you have weight here, and then we have actually a final toe weight we put on. What that does is it creates a little bit of perimeter weighting there too for added forgiveness. So that's one of our main mantras at Ping, right? We want to engineer these clubs to help these players play their best.
Yeah.
And that added a little bit of extra perimeter weighting is what helps us do that.
To keep it square or to keep it open, whatever the way you hit it.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
so
gotcha.
We're going to do that. So we dropped in our weight, we have our shaft, and then we're going to come over here and do our epoxy.
So simple, this. I mean, it's incredible.
Little epoxy, and of course the secret ingredient, a little bit of this tour dust, as we call it, on the truck. This is just adding just a little bit of that special magic you need to hit great shots. And that goes into all of our clubs that we build here, obviously.
So it's just basically the tour dust you're calling it. It's a
little
fancy word for glue.
Little sand and a little bit of epoxy.
Sand, that's right. We did that for Tyrrell at the Players.
That's right. It helps keep a nice little tight fit while it cures. Nothing more than that. That's all it really is. Roll the shaft in the epoxy. Stick the shaft in. Make sure we line up the label because we want to make sure that looks nice and pretty.
Yep.
And then down we go. Give it a push and a little tap. So it's seated properly. We got a little epoxy left here. So we got to clean that up.
How long to dry?
So it will dry about, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes is what it would take. However, we have a machine here on the Ping truck.
Yep.
That gets it done in 4 minutes. So now I've got the shaft in, I'm lining up the graphics for a final look. Make sure it's in line so that it's not distracting. And that's it. I've cleaned up the excess epoxy. We stick it in here. We have this curing cell. We hit it for 4 minutes. It heats it up just enough to cure so that we can continue to build it. Cuts our build time about in half, which helps us get it out on the tee. And when it's ready to go and it's cured, it's ready to hit. They can hit it right away. It takes us 10 to 15 minutes to get one of these done.
We are 100 yards from the range out there. Someone's waiting for a club. That's just massive, isn't it, to be able to get them done, cook them so fast.
Exactly. Well, so we have 3 minutes, so time to put the kettle on, as they say here in the UK.
And scones over in the UK.
I like it.
But the UK, I'm Australian, so, you know, I'll
Yeah.
forgive you. Okay, Adam, it's cooked in there. So, chef, what is next? What are you making up for us?
Next up, obviously, we got to put the head on. Important. Tighten it down. We're going to cut it. We're going to grip it. We're going to swing weight it. And that's it. Then you can go out and hit it.
I'm looking forward to watching that swing weighting.
Oh yeah, a lot of options there. But we'll go right over here to the ruler.
Yep.
We have one right here. This does irons, woods, and putters, so it helps.
This one normal length?
Only have one, yeah. So we'll go standard length on the 2-iron, which is 40 and an eighth.
40 and an eighth.
40 and an eighth, very precise. That's what the engineers told us to do, and that's what we're gonna do. So that's our standard. Put a little mark here. And then we go over to the cutoff saw, which is right here. Flip it on. This is graphite, so there won't be any sparks, not as exciting. A little spinity burr it. Now it's cut. Looks nice.
It does.
I think you're gonna like that.
Look.
Take a look at that at address. It's got that iron look.
Not set back much, is it? No.
It has some to be able to obviously to square it up, especially in a 2-iron. That's helpful. But in general, it's got that nice iron look, and the black to me makes it look really sleek.
If you like
really
a
nice
long iron driving iron, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
It doesn't, and the color is just phenomenal.
Yeah, gotta love that. All right, so next up, we're gonna tape it and grip it. So we're gonna go to our tape.
Tape it, grip it, and rip it.
Tape, which is our ping spindle. This is something that Carson Solheim himself developed, and we still use to this day. We're the only ones that we know of that do spiral tape. So we're gonna do that now. And yeah, this goes back decades. We've been using the same thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what they say in the US, that's what we believe. So here you go. We put that on, a little bit of spiraling, and the tape will be on. Very easy.
Too easy.
And they do that to make sure that the tape is consistent all the way down, no overlap. And to us, we think it's easier to do and faster to take on and off, or put on and take off. Next up in the vise, we have a little drawer to catch the drip, and a little device here for the solvent. What this does, put it on, allows the tape, it deactivates the adhesive on the tape.
So what is the solvent? It's just like...
Over here, I'm actually not sure. In the United States, it's called odorless mineral spirits. That's
Right,
something we have. You can buy at Home Depot, and that's what we use.
When I was a kid and as an apprentice golfer, it used to be petrol. We used to use petrol.
I've heard that, or gasoline. That's what we have in the U.S. But we're just using a standard Tour Velvet grip, very popular grip for everybody, and it just slides right on.
Is that a standard thickness?
Yeah, standard 58 round, which is would be our standard one. Then we just
Round,
give it
no ridge at the back.
no rib on this one, and just want to check to make sure it's aligned. We do the round because of this hosel. If you were to change it now and you had a rib, now that rib would be going either up or cross or some part of your hand. It would feel weird. So we do that round. We started doing it a lot with adjustable woods. Now that we have irons that we can do it with, like this iCrossover, you put the round on there. The logo might be off, but it's still a round grip and it's consistent all the way around. So that's why we do it. So now, turn this off. That's the pump. Now all we got to do is swing weight it.
How do we do that?
Right over here at our swing
Let's
weight.
do that.
Another
I used to be D2.
D2, and that's where we're going. So another machine that's proprietary to Ping. No one else you'll see has this. So right now,
am D2.
there you go. Right now it's a little light, so we have a whole array of toe weights that we're going to use. However, we're also going to use some other tour sauce, which is the hot melt. Very exciting stuff for some people out there online. They love the tour hot melt. So we actually do hot melt this head to help get some of the swing weighting. So to do that, you got to heat up the needle. Right now I'm going to put 8 grams in. So that's a full squeeze. That's 5 grams, and then about a half squeeze.
That comes with practice. Like if I did that, I'm not getting it bang on, am I?
No, probably not.
No.
Takes a little bit.
Yeah.
At Ping, at the plant, we have an automated one. You just type it in, 8 grams, poop, and it shoots out an exact amount.
I've been there before.
That's
You
how they
can
do it in
watch that
production.
when I went to the Ping
Exactly.
factory.
So that one's just by hand. Just you do it by feel. But this comes out at 300 degrees, so you don't want to touch it because I've done that in training. Not fun.
Ooh, Bernie.
Yeah, it hurt a little bit, but you can feel it. It's warm. You won't burn yourself. Just touch it a little bit. Feel it there, nice and warm.
Toasty.
So it's great when we use that in metal woods a lot of times
Yeah.
to be able to position on the toe or the heel or forward. and you can feel where that position is. And then, but after 30 seconds or so, it's usually cool enough to where it no longer will flow. So we can put it on, back on the scale. Now we're up to C9, and we're trying to get to D2. So about a 6-gram toe weight should work. So we have this entire array here of anywhere from 2 to 14 grams. And I think I'm gonna need about a 6-grammer. So we're gonna take that, put it in just a little bit temporarily.
Low on the toe.
Yeah, reweigh it. And now it's coming out to D2 plus, so that should work perfect. Once I take that plastic off, it should be dialed in right on D2. So now all we do is crank this down and tighten it, make sure it's nice and secure. And off to the golf course you go.
That's just unbelievable. It's that easy. Adam, thank you ever so much.
Absolutely.
That's why you should play ping. Play your best.